Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the backstory. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Kakamega Senator Boni Khalwale has delivered some very shocking and disturbing news to President William RUTO as he tries to lure Western Kenya into his team ahead of 2027 general election. Boni Khalwale has raised key fundamental issues that Kenyans from the Western region will be asking President William RUTO as we move into the next general election.
Maskini wa Kenya, sikia. Saa hii nasikia kelele mingi. Hata jana usiku hatukulala Shikaragala National Polytechnic. Watoto walikuwa wanaimba kwamba hawataki serikali ni mbaya. Nimekuwa bullfighting asubuhi. Watoto wanaimba wanasema serikali ni mbaya. I want to tell President William RUTO, President, usipowachana na wale watu ambao wanakuambia maneno ambayo sio ya wananchi, wewe kibarua itakuwa ngumu. Wewe President, mimi ndio nilikuleta hapa. Wenye walikubali ndio hawa. President, kama ungekuwa unanisikiza mimi, ningekuwa tayari nimekupatia habari yenye hawa watakufurahia sana. Your Excellency, ninakukumbusha kwamba hapa kwetu hawa watu hawana neno. Wewe ukija ututengenezee malami vile umeanza kutengeneza kule kwa Wajaluo, hawa watu watanisikiza, hawatakuwa na shida na wewe. Mr. President, watoto, I am not able to lie. I'm a doctor of medicine. Ninakuambia shida ya hawa watu wenye wanapitia katika mahospitali. Nasikia kila mtu anasema SHA shift. The problem of these people sio SHA shift ama NHIF. Problem ya hawa watu, Your Excellency, ni kwamba wakienda kwa hospitali hakuna daktari, hakuna nurse, hakuna dawa, hakuna kitu. So the health system has collapsed. The people cannot be happy. Your Excellency, I'm telling you, my brother, maneno ya masomo, hii pesa umechukua sijui basari kwa mkono ya MCA, basari kwa mkono ya MP, basari kwa mkono ya governor, basari hata presidential basari fund iko. Hawa watu hawapati. Tunataka hii basari yote ukusanye, urudishe headquarters, masomo iwe ya bure kuanzia nursery mpaka form 4. Hawa watu hatakuwa na shida. I don't know what is the problem. Simuliona juzi. Polisi amekeuka, sasa yeye ndio anashika watoto wetu, alafu anaua. Your Excellency, hawa watu hawawezi kufurahia serikali kama askari wako ndio wanaua watoto wao. I want to appeal to members of parliament. Mimi ni mwanasiasa aliyekomaa. I know politics. Wanasiasa, muachane na kutetea polisi wenye wanaua watoto. Mutuungane na nyinyi, tusukume hao polisi. Yule mwenye ameua, uanze na hiyo mkubwa anaitwa Eliud Lagat, DIG. Tushike, tufunge, mali yenye alikuwa anaiba, tuuze, turudishie serikali, ndio polisi warudi kuchunga maisha na mali yetu. Your Excellency, ukifanya namna hivyo, there will be no problem. Naonga hata kubana there.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, President William RUTO finds himself in a very, very precarious situation. As we talk right now, it's like he has lost a very huge chunk of votes that he got in 2022, more so in the Mount Kenya region. And according to his handlers, or according to the way he's been operating, it's like his focus had already shifted to Western region. You know, Western has key political leaders who are affiliated to President William Ruto. One of them is Mudavadi. Then the next one is the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula. These are experienced politicians who have vast knowledge of Western Kenya, and they also have connections, political connection in the grassroots. So President William Ruto and his handlers, if you look at what has been happening, his PA, who is Farouk Kibet, has been camping in Western Kenya. And by now, their expectation was that they were going to tilt the scale towards President William Ruto's side. But if you listen to what Boni Halwale is saying, if it is to be true, then it means President William Ruto and his handlers still have a lot of work to do ahead of 2027. Because listening to what Boni Halwale was saying, you could hear like his audience clapping and agreeing with what he was saying. Some of the issues that he has raised is one, the issue of the economy. Kenyans are feeling the effects of the economy. Things have not turned rosy as they expected President William Ruto to work on the economy and let Kenyans feel. But another issue is the issue of education. Education has become very expensive in Kenya. I think you guys understand. It has become damn and expensive, and Kenyans are really struggling to pay school fees. Some of the areas that have been affected is the secondary education, where the capitation was affected in one way or the other. So parents have gone back to their pockets to pay more for secondary education. Then the other issue that has also affected education is the university help or loan fees, whereby President William Ruto's government came up with a new funding model. This affected the way university students paid school fees, in that parents had to have now to chip in or pay more in terms of accommodation, in terms of tuition fee. And this has really affected so many Kenyans, not only in Western region, but the whole country. Then another issue that Boni Halwale also talked about is SHA. You know, when we're coming into this administration, that is from President Uhuru Kenyatta's regime, we had what we call NHIF. And somehow NHIF was working, even though it had some teething problems, which President William Ruto came out to address. But in trying to address these issues, SHA has also come up with other issues that are affecting the common man. One is in terms of monthly payment. So many people have been affected in a way that they are not able to regularly pay for it. And there is no like a clear roadmap or clear communication on how SHA works. So it's like Kenyans have been trying it out and it's not working out clearly. And secondly is the fact that Kenyans have also to dig deep into their pockets so as to raise money for the monthly installment or monthly payment for SHA. And this is affecting Kenyans so much. So I think for SHA, it's about communication. The government needs to come up with a clear roadmap and a clear communication that will go down to common Kenyans so that they get to understand how SHA works. Because what the government has been pushing for is registration. That is having so many people register for SHA. But they are not communicating to Kenyans and telling them how SHA is going to benefit them. So the concentration or the messaging should be on how SHA is going to benefit them, and they should also make it easy to access and easy to use, so that even the common man down there in the village is able and willing to use it. So all these coupled together puts President William Ruto in a very, very precarious situation, because if he doesn't get like let me say 70% of Western Kenya votes, then he might as well call it game shot. But I know they are working day and night, and the likes of Wetangula have been going back to the village to try and whip up the emotions of the Western Kenyan voters. Because Western Kenya vote is also a very, very interesting political populace. They'll never put all their votes in one basket. So the fact that President William Ruto has been and his handlers are relying on Western Kenyan votes. But history tells us that Western Kenya has never voted like 100% for any political leader. The only person who came close to getting around 80% was Raila Odinga. But no other politician, no other politician has done that. Even sitting presidents or incumbent presidents have never. So President William Ruto has a lot of work to do in Western Kenya. And he needs to look for grassroots leaders, that is the grassroots political leaders, and find a way of mobilizing grassroots support in Western Kenya if he is to compensate the number of votes that he has lost since he came into power. But if what Boni KHALWALE is talking about is anything to go by, and the president and his handlers are not able to work on some of the key issues that have been raised, then it's going to be a very, very difficult situation for him in Western Kenya. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep monitoring what's going on in the political scene in Western Kenya, and we'll keep you guys updated. But if you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Until next time, bye-bye.